You know, we heard some questions to the president on the economy, inflation, especially gas prices. For more on that, let's bring in White House National Economic Council Director Brian Deese. Brian, thank you for being on. We heard the president kind of making that connection between the gas prices and Russia. And there's sort of the overarching problem there where nobody can really put an end point to the war at this point, which is horrific in itself. But what could be the long-term impact on gas prices, even if the war does come to an end?
Well, thanks, Mika. And you heard the president speak on the global stage to the fact that these are global economic challenges, and they're stemming from, as you say, a horrific war. But you also heard a president who is resolved to take all necessary actions to protect American national security over the immediate and the long term, and also train our focus on economic security, which means doing everything that we can to try to bring inflation down. Here at home, we got today the reading for May's what's known as PCE. This is the measure of inflation that the Federal Reserve traditionally relies on most. And we saw some welcome moderation in what's known as core PCE, which is now down for 3 months in a row on an annualized basis. But we also saw that energy prices and gas prices are a principal driver of ongoing inflation. And so what the president can do and what we can do is, number one, work with our partners and allies internationally to keep as much supply onto the market while also training the economic pain onto Putin himself. And you saw the president earlier at the G7 this week bring allies together around a creative approach to do that with a price cap on Russian oil. That would really focus the economic pain on Putin himself as opposed to on global oil prices. And here at home, we can take practical steps. None of them is a silver bullet, but each of them will actually matter to families. We've already seen prices come down about 20 cents at the pump over the last 2 weeks. That's good. We need to do more. Getting rid of the gas tax for a couple of months is something the president has raised that would help. Having states follow that action as well, that would help as well. So we're just going to keep at it.
Yeah, gas prices trending down even again this morning in the futures markets as they open today. Brian, let's bring this a little bit back down to earth. It's a lot of high-level economic stuff. This weekend's going to be brutal for a lot of people, whether they're traveling by plane, but especially by car if they've got to fill up that tank and spend over $100. Can you give the American people, I know there's no date certain, but some sense of when you all see, as you look at the numbers, you look at the trends, you look at the steps you're taking, of when this may break, when prices may start to come down?
Well, first, if you look at today's data, the data that we got today, what you saw was, again, some moderation in that core number, which is a number the Fed keeps a very close eye on. So over the last 3 months, annualized core inflation was 4%. In the prior 3 months, it was 5.2%. So you see some moderation there. But with respect to gas prices, they are too high, and no amount of economic statistics is going to change that, the frustration that people will feel this weekend. Which is why we'd like to see more action. We'd like to see more action on energy prices, but also other prices that families face that would make a big difference in their lives. Prescription drugs is front and center on that. You're seeing Democrats in Congress coalesce around the need to move on allowing Medicare to negotiate prescription drug prices, bring down specific drug prices like the cost of insulin. For a typical family and their monthly budget, so many people are spending every month on prescription drugs. That would be a big deal. It would make a big difference, and we're hoping that we can make progress on that, as well as other measures like lowering energy costs, lowering utility bills for Americans over the course of the next month.
All right, we know you got to run. We'll be back to you soon. I know. Director of the White House National Economic Council, Brian Deese, thanks for taking some time this morning. We appreciate it.